Hello friends, welcome back. This is Manish Pandey. Today in this video, I am going to show you how to mark work queue items as a exception. It means how to mark exception. And this time I am going to mark system exception. In the previous video, you have seen how to mark item as a completed. So if there is no error in your project, then you can mark that a specific item as a completed. And if there is any error while running that project or like while processing that one, so you can mark that a specific item as a exception. So here you can see I am using get item by ID to get the item from work queue. So getting the items from work queue is different. There are two things. One, you can use get item by ID, and second, you can use get next item to get the next item from work queue, and then you can process further. This I am using here only because this is the continued part of work queue VBO series. You can start with the previous video. There are lots of things, lots of actions I have shown in this series. So first you can see, let me show you here in this control, and then this is the work queue that I have. So currently I have 8 records which is pending. So instead of just writing a note, what I am going to do now, I am going to take few actions like launching the application and login into that application. If there is any error while launching or logging into that application, then we'll mark that a specific item as a exception. That will be system exception. So let me just modify to this one. Okay. So here we'll take two things. One, launch and login. So as per the previous video, if you'll go through my previous video, I have already shown how to set up a business object for any Windows application. So here I have this action. I'm going to use this. Double click on that. Click on business object. So I already have this Centrix Data Solutions business object, and I'm going to use this launch. Now click OK. Now after launching, I am going to log in into that specific application. So I will take another action. So this is the first action to launch that application, and this is the second action which is for login into that application. So double click on that, select that business object and click on login. Now here in the inputs we need to pass two things. First, staff number, and second, password. It means username and password to log in into that application. So this is the username, it means a staff number, and here this is the correct password. Now what I am going to do, I am going to remove this so that we can get one specific error. And as per this business object that we created in the previous video, if the password is wrong, so that application will also throw an error, the pop-up message like enter valid password. And also our business object, we are throwing one system exception that will say like Centrix data login not successful, like that. So I am putting here wrong password. So click OK. Let me enlarge this. Let me link this. Okay. So this part I am going to consider this as a process records that we used earlier as a nodes, right? So it will launch and login. So if this part completed successfully, it means it will mark completed. If not successfully, then it will throw an error. So currently as per this record, as per this data, this project will throw an error. So the specific item that is picked by this get item by ID, it means that item ID will be stored here. So while processing this item ID, let's say we are going to log in and there is an error. So I need to mark that as exception. If I will not mark exception, we will not able to move further. I can show you here. I am not going to do anything, but I am passing here wrong value. So what will happen? Set next stage, run this one by one. So we have one of 8 records and we are going to process first item ID. So this item ID has been picked here now. Let me refresh this one. So this item ID has been picked now. Now we are going to launch and log in now. So let me run this. So it will launch the specific application. This is the Centrix Data Solutions application, and now we are going to run this part. So it will try to enter data. It will enter data here, and you can see we are getting error like please enter a valid staff number and password. So it means this is the error from application, this application itself, and this error message that is coming from our business object that we set up there. So while creating a business object, we have also mentioned that whenever if that application login not successful, then we'll throw an system exception. So currently it is just throwing an exception, right? We are not able to mark that a specific item with this system exception message, right? So now for this one, what we need to do, we need to mark this specific item ID as an exception, because we are getting error here. Failed this, click on this. So we are stopping here. So that's why automatically this item ID will be marked as a automatically set exception as cleanup, right? But we need to mark item on runtime. It means first time we are running, and let's say there is an error. Second time might be will run, and that time the login will be successful. So it will go and mark completed, right? We are going to handle this error here first, because without handling, we will not able to mark this item as a system exception, business exception, or like mark completed. We will not able to do that, right? Because we have to handle this one, we have to see which type of error is this, and then we need to mark that as exception. So this is same as like try catch. In all the programming languages you will have seen, we use try catch. So whatever data, whatever activities, or like whatever action, whatever code you will put in the try section, try block, that will be like monitored by the specific try catch. If there is any error in the try part, automatically the catch section will be catch that error. Same here, we have this block section. So we have this block section. So we'll take this one here like this. So this is something like try block. So if any error in this try block, then it will be catched by this recover. Recover is like a magnet, like it's like a catch. So it will catch the specific error which is coming from this try block. So any action which is inside this block, if error occurred, then it will be catched by this recover stage. So what we can do, we can directly recover this one. It means it will go to catches, it means this recover part, and then we'll store that exception message. Like what is the exception, we can store also, or we can directly, instead of doing that, we can directly go to resume part here. So you can link this one. So this recover part will catch that error from these two applications, these two actions, and then it will go to resume. And after resume, if you want to mark item as exception, you can mark that. So let me first put this here, and now let me take one action stage here, double click on that, click on this work use business object, and select mark exception. Now in this one we need to enter that a specific item which has error. So let's say this one here, will pass that ID, this one, and then what is the exception region. So exception region we can pass here. So we can directly either put as a like system exception, or you can take directly from this business object. So whatever error we are getting from this business object, we can directly use here. So how can we use that? So before resume, we need to first store that exception. So how can we store that? So for that we need to take one calculation here, double click on that, this is for, and here we can go to exception, take the exception details, because we need to pass exception region here, and then we can store here in the exception region, right? and then we can click on this button to create that. Now click OK. So every time whenever there will be error, it will be cached by this part, this recover stage. It will store that exception message here, and then it will go to resume, and then it will mark that exception here. Now click link and then link here. Now double click on that. Here in the exception region, we need to pass that exception region here. Now there are two more inputs here. First, that is retry and keep locked. So retry means, do you want to retry this specific item that has error? If no, you can leave as it is. If you want to retry, so what will happen, it will create a clone of that specific item and it will be retried. It means attempt 1, attempt 2, like that. Now keep logged. Keep logged means your item will be logged here. So let me show you here. So currently, as you can see here, this once you will run this one, so it will, this item will be logged, right? Currently this is like showing as a pending, so this item will be logged. But if you are marking this item as exception, so no need to log that item, right? Because if that is marked as exception, we can go further and we can process another work items. So just leave as it is. So it will be considered as a false. Now click OK. So we are going to mark this item as a system exception. Now what will happen, it will recover that exception, store that, resume, and then mark that a specific item as exception, go to loop and then start again here, again check if there is error, it will again recover, and then like that. So it will work like that, right? Now let me just run this. So let me first close this, refresh, reset, like that. Right click, set next stage, step over, loop one by one. So first item now picked by this get item by ID, and now it's going to launch that, and then it will try to log in. So you can see there's an error. Now click OK. But what will happen, if there's any error here, automatically that part will be recovered here, and then it will go here. So you can see now it is coming to the recover part, and then click step over. Now it will store here that system exception. So you can see this is the exception region, that is Centrix login not successful, and this error message we are getting from here. So right click on this view action in the object studio, and you can see, so if after entering the password login and click on login, if that page not loaded, so it will throw an error. So the error will be like Centrix login not successful, right? And this is the type system exception. So close this. Now it has stored that one. If it will not store that, so that error message will be gone, so you will not able to use here. Now it is going to resume. Now it's going to mark that a specific item as a system exception. So let me show you here. So currently this item is logged. Now once I will go through this part, once I will step next here, so what will happen, now you can see, refresh this, and this item is marked as a system exception, and the region is Centrix login not successful. So by this way you can mark that specific item as a successful. Now it's coming to the loop end, so it will again go further here, get next item, launch that application. But let me close this one, launch that specific application again. But now while logging into that application, what I am going to do, I am going to put here D, so that is the correct or valid password. So it will log in into that application without throwing any error. So if login successful, so it will come to mark completed, and it will mark that specific item as a completed. So currently this is logged, and now once I will step through here, so it will mark that specific item as a completed. So you can see here this item is completed, and this is the exception, right? By this way you can do that, and I hope you learned how to mark item as an exception if there is any error. So if this is useful, please like this video and please subscribe this channel if you have not subscribed yet. Thank you so much for watching this video.
If you want to learn UiPath RPA, then you can visit my YouTube channel youtube.com/UiPathRPA. If you want to learn Blue Prism from Udemy, so I have created one course for Blue Prism RPA complete course on Udemy. So you can go there and you can purchase that course and you can get the certificate from there. I will enter the referral code and the link in the video description. You can go through that. I hope you like that one. Thank you so much for watching this video.